From the KDLM studios, it's time for Hodge Podge, presented by Partnership for Health and airing on Lakes TV3.
Good morning. Welcome into Hodge Podge. It is Friday, November 20th. I'm Joel Ketke. Thanks for being with us today, and thanks to our sponsors, Partnership for Health. Today, we are joined via our Zoom studios with Adam Mortenson from the Pelican Rapids Watershed District. Adam, good morning. Thanks for being with us today here on Hodge Podge.
Morning, Joel. Thanks for having me this morning.
Well, we're glad you could join us today. We had a little chilly weather this week, and we had a report from one of the official guys about Detroit Lake freezing over. This is one of the earlier freeze-overs, is it not?
Absolutely. It is kind of the earlier ones. It's not the earliest. Last year, we froze up on November 11th, and that was the earliest in the last 20 years. So we're a little bit behind that. It's also worth mentioning, the weather right now is kind of yo-yoing. I'm sure parts of Detroit are freezing and unthawing and all that kind of stuff right now. So chances are on Tuesday, November 17th, that wasn't our final official freeze up, but it was completely froze over that day. Just kind of looking at, looking forward what we expect. A little more than 7 months is probably what we'll have for hard water this year. Between 250 and 225 days.
Well, I know folks like myself eagerly anticipating the lake freezing over enough where we can get the snowmobiles and the four-wheelers out and grab the auger and the portable and go out and do some ice fishing.
Absolutely. Time will come. I wouldn't recommend going out there yet, though.
Nope. We want folks to be safe, even though we all have that desire to go out and catch those crappies and sunfish and walleyes. But don't head out there just yet. From a water quality standpoint, we're going to talk a little bit about that. Adam, as we move into the fall, last time we were talking about thermoclines and how the lakes are kind of turning over, and now here we are almost around Thanksgiving time. How do the lakes look in our area?
So as far as the thermoclines go, last time we talked about how it kind of reverses. Well, since it's freezing on top now, it's going to kind of be setting up where the warmer water is going to the bottom. That's kind of where things are going to settle out for the rest of the winter. That'll be kind of our average at that point. But as far as water quality goes, we sample during the growing season. So the months of June, July, August, September. So we pull samples from those months, and that's where we set up our averages to figure out our phosphorus levels and how much algae or chlorophyll A, how much algae and stuff is growing out there, and really assess the water quality for the purpose of recreation. And the good news this year, I've got the numbers back. Every lake that we sampled is doing better than its historic average. There isn't a single lake that's doing worse. Detroit Lake last year was just marginally better than this year. But clarity is up around 15, 16 feet average. That's not our best reading. Our best readings were in the 20s. So clarity is way up on Detroit Lake, and of course that has something to do with the zebra mussels. The phosphorus is way down, and that possibly has something to do with zebra mussels, but it also has something to do with everything the city of Detroit Lakes that we've been doing, the Becker County. Everyone's got a lot more progressive, as it were, ordinance when it comes to the management of stormwater and pollutants and keeping that stuff from getting to the lake. So we're seeing progress. We're moving the needle. It's a good thing.
Now, you mentioned zebra mussels. I was watching a special the other night on, was it History? It might have been, I forget what channel. It might have been the Science Channel, called Drain the Great Lakes. And where they do the video thing and they scan it and then they pull the water back. And they were talking about the water, the clarity issues in the Great Lakes because of zebra mussels. Yes, the water looks great. It's blue. It's crystal clear. But it's having a negative impact on the entire balance of what's going on in the Great Lakes because of that water clarity. And we've talked about it here with our local lakes as well. On those lakes where you mentioned where the water quality clarity has improved, are those lakes that have the zebra mussels in them?
Yeah, absolutely. We can see a marked increase in water clarity in Detroit Lake, and they were discovered back in 2016, I want to say. That was before my time here, of course. But yeah, we can, you want to talk about flattening the curve. Zebra mussels, it just goes straight up, So as far as water clarity, helping your property value on Detroit Lake, you like the clear water, it's great, but we are definitely seeing some kind of effects. We're looking into it with, we sample the microbes in the water column that the zebra mussels feed on. we're kind of watching for effects from that affecting the entire food web and eventually affecting the fish that you like to catch.
We really focus on the winter or in the summertime rather about cleaning debris off your boat, off your trailer, dumping your live well, dumping your water on your live wells as well, so that you don't transport it. One thing we don't talk much about is in the wintertime, because I think everybody has that assumption, Adam, that hey, everything's frozen, we can't be, nothing's going to transport from lake to lake, but that's not necessarily the case.
Necessarily. It's good practice to follow all the same procedures that you follow in the summer, follow them with your winter equipment too. Let it dry out going between lakes, try not to transfer any water. Yeah, things are frozen, the villagers aren't quite as active, but they're still there. So it's good practice to prevent transferring water from one lake to the next.
We're going to take a break here at Hodge Podge, and Adam's going to stick with us through the break, and we'll come back and talk with Adam a little bit more here on this Friday morning. Stay tuned. Back with more Hodge Podge after these.